Okay, guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Sorry for the late one. We're going to wait for a few people. I have a few people coming on, so we're gonna wait for them. So as they come on, then they'll be jumping on. I'll be bringing them on one by one. I might have two Chelsea fans. It wasn't easy to find Chelsea fans because most of them seem to be hiding, but we managed to find a few who were brave enough to come in for the preview. But welcome to the channel, guys. Sorry for the late one, but I know every time it's the late one, there's actually a lot of people because America and other countries, this is the time most of you guys are awake. So welcome to the channel, guys. Like the video and subscribe if you're new. Right now, I think this morning we were on 2,270 subscribers, trying to get to 3K. So it's a lot to 3K. So by the end of this year, we're going to get to 3K. So let me just see a few people in the comments as we are waiting. Okay, so let's start off with this one. Oh, big up to Carlton of becoming a member. Guys, if you want to become a member, go ahead, become a member. It's up to you. I think it's about €1.99 a month to become a member. So become a member and buy some coffees for me so I can drink some coffees every month. So Shaki Moore says, Patrick, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Miss Melina, how you doing? Guys, if you want a nice Arsenal and fantasy football channel, go to Miss Melina. She's very good at that. Big up to you. MCFR TV, big up to you too. Guys, go and subscribe to this channel. It's nice city content. Go on. And FC TV, go subscribe to that too. Anthony, how you doing, man? Hope you're well, Anthony. Big up, mate. Hope you're well. I'm very well. FC TV, yo. Obviously, they're saying hello to each other. I wasn't hiding. I know you're not hiding, Anthony. I wasn't talking about you. Let me just go to the chat again. Big up my G. 6 people, 1 like. What's happening? People are haters here. People are haters. Mostly haters. Like the video, guys. There's about 8 of you this evening. Like the video. There's about 8 of you. Like the video. Like the video. Just like the video. Okay, so anyway. Everyone they will like, don't worry, don't worry, they're a very good community. By the time we're done with this, they'll like the video. So Adam, how you doing, man? Adam, are you here or you're hiding too? Okay, so we don't have Adam yet, so I'll be waiting for more of the panel. Here is
Patrick,
Carl.
I'm here.
Oh, you're also here. So here is also Carl. Carl, how you doing? Carl and Adam, how you doing?
Well, thank you, Patrick. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. We might have the Chelsea fans come in. Abdullah says he's sorting out his Abdullah is sorting out his, what you call the guy? This must be Abdullah. Abdullah, is that you? Yeah, I think that's Abdullah. I think he was sorting out his I don't know if it's Forward or Abdullah, one of the two. So both of them are coming, Carl. So we've got 2 Chelsea fans who've come up, and that's Abdullah and Forward. Say that again.
It's me making a video, so I was sorting out my stuff.
Big up to you for coming, man. Big up to you. Let me say hello to Martin. How you doing, Martin? Smash your like, yo. Thank you very much, Mike. Go subscribe to Martin's channel, guys. Okay, so Forward is also here. So the whole gang is here now, and now we can prepare. So what I'm gonna do is I'll put the Chelsea fans together like this, and I'll put the 2 City fans at the bottom. I'm not going to talk much in this video. I'm just going to act as the host, which I am. So I'm just going to let the people speak. So Forward, man, welcome. Thank you. I know this is late. Apologies, guys, but thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to start with so Carl and Adam. You also can ask the Chelsea fans. So Forward, we've got Carl and Adam, who are the City fans. And then Carl, I'm pretty sure you know Abdullah. We are always on his channel, the Blue Studio. I don't know if you still call it the Blue Studio, but we are always on his channel, the Blue Studio. And Forward is one of the guys I've met. I've known him for very, very, very long time. So, Carl, these are the 2 Chelsea fans we have. Adam, the same way. So, if you've got any questions, Carl, feel free to ask them. And obviously, Forward and Abdullah, if you've got any questions, feel free to ask Adam and Carl. So, guys, let's get this happening. So, we're playing Chelsea tomorrow. If you're in England, it's at 5:30. If you're in America, Carl, what time is it? If you're in America, what time are you watching the game?
It's 12:30 Eastern time.
Yeah, 12:30. 11:30. So Forward, I am pretty sure you can see Abdullah is already saying poach out. Are you the same?
It's a bit complicated, right? Obviously, is he the manager that I think is going to take us to winning league titles and all of that? Absolutely not. Am I happy with his performance this season? Absolutely not. I think he's been quite poor this season. In terms of being poached out, I am poached out in the summer. I'm pretty much since the United game where we were absolutely terrible against one of the worst teams in the league. And for me, United are absolutely horrible. And I watched quite a few of their games, and that was one of their only games this season where they've actually had a great 90-minute performance, and it came against us. So that was embarrassing. From then, I was like, you know what? I'm poached out in the summer, but I don't want to sack him now because, again, it doesn't send a good message out to sack another manager mid-season. And I feel like with these players, like, they need the continuity through the season to at least get to the end of it with the same manager who isn't doing like an untenable job, right? I feel like we should actually give a manager at least time just to ride out the season. And I think we already sacked we only sacked Potter because the job was untenable and it looked like we were going to get relegated. So we had to sack him. And I feel with Poch, it hasn't got to the point where the season is completely untenable because he has got to a final. We have seen some good signs with certain players, and The football at times has been okay. And obviously, I do have some sympathy, not full sympathy, but some sympathy for the fact that we've had a lot of injuries, and it is a young squad without a clinical striker out front to finish a lot of chances. Because, like you've seen through the season, we've had some good performances, but we've just been missing that killer touch. So, yeah, Poch out in the summer, but for now, he's doing just enough to just stay afloat and keep his job till May. But I think overall, I'm not been impressed with the season at all.
Okay. What about yourself, Abdullahi? You seem to be a strong Poch out. Why do you want him out? As forward just said, you just sacked Porter. Why would you want the manager you just came in, who's here to build you guys the foundation, out already? And Poch is very good at working with youngsters. So what's going on?
Patrick, you've known me very, very well. Gakao, as a mammy play, you don't know me very well. Me, I get banner for it. I know me when it comes to Chelsea. You see, I've been supporting Poch for like, I can say I'm the advocate of Pochettino backing for a very long time. So when people kind of come at me like, just give this guy time, because I see kind of the chances we miss, some of the stuff we do in terms of, okay, we can always do better in terms of this is what we need to do to kind of improve ourselves, to kind of do this, to kind of do that. But when I lost everything, it was against Liverpool. I didn't even that United match. I didn't even get that much angry, because I'm like, okay, it's Old Trafford. Our record in Old Trafford it's been abysmal since 2000, and the last time we won it was in 2017. So I know the record we had there, so it wasn't even worrying me. When we went to Anfield and we lost in that manner, Pochettino came out and said, guys, it's one of them. Let's move on. That's what I'm like. I'm done with this, man. Just go. I'm done. It's over. We cannot lose a match in Anfield and you tell me it's one of them. We can move on. When we lost. Not that we lost. We just lost in that manner, and you are telling me to move on. How can I move on when you see when the manager loses? You have to address the fan base. You have to calm us down, because all of us are kind of angry and pissed off. We have to know the reason we lost. So give us an explanation why we lost. What needed to be done in the next match. So that kind of stuff will not happen. Guess what? Against Wolves, we get battered at home 4-2. So when the manager is calling me and telling the whole fan base it's one of games, we should move on. Then we move on to the next match, we get beaten at home 4-2 at Stamford Bridge. How do I explain that? How? And people are kind of coming at me and say this. Yes, I know the ownership have made mistake in which they are trying their best to rectify. They are trying their best to rectify that. If make mistake, yes. But bringing Pochettino, who for me doesn't even have a winning mentality caliber, worries me a lot, because no matter what Pochettino say for me as a fan base, it won't resonate anything going forward for me, because he doesn't have the charisma as a manager, and his in-game management is poor. For me, it is poor. And when you have a poor tactics, poor game management from me, how do you expect the fan base to trust and believe you? I already said this, Mr. Cow and Patrick and Adam, please, I am begging you in the name of God, I beg. I want to be down tomorrow. I use God Almighty and beg the three of you, please. I need a beat down tomorrow.
This
guy is playing against his own team. I've never seen that before, man. So, Cow. As I said, if you guys have any questions to ask on everything, go ahead, speak and ask these guys everything. So I'm gonna ask you guys, City fans. That's Carl, Adam, and Kevin, who's just joined us. So you've just heard Abdullahi says he's got no faith in the manager and he's begging Man City to beat them down so that Pochettino is fired. While Forward says, why should we fire the manager? The manager just came in. So you guys are City fans. How do you take these two statements from the two Chelsea fans, and how do you approach the game tomorrow? I'll start with you, Carl. Or pitch points.
I think he might be doing something.
Yeah, I think he might be doing something.
Yes, there we go. So I think for me, it's quite simple, Patrick. But I posted something in the chat moments ago, but I'm going to try and be more balanced and more civil. Chelsea annoy me. This Chelsea team annoy me. You know why they annoy me? Because they'll play United, who are shit. They'll play Wolves and all these guys who are like 7th to 12th, and they'll play rubbish, right? Get battered 4-2, lose 3-1, all that kind of nonsense. And then they'll come to us and play the World Cup final. They'll go to Arsenal and play rubbish, give Arsenal 3 points, give Liverpool 3 points. They'll come to us and try and play the World Cup final. Show some consistency. right? Try and be consistent in all your games. If you're going to be terrible, be terrible. If you're going to be good, right, then each player has a responsibility to play to that level. If you can play with World Cup final against City and then you go and play shit against United, it's not the manager, it's the players. It's the players. It's them. It's in their mind that they can raise their game for a certain game, 1 game, 2 games in 38 games against the champions. And then when they're playing teams that are around them in that position, they're just terrible. It's what's the most annoying thing about what the modern Chelsea, because the old Chelsea in the old days of Drogba and all these guys, they were consistent. They didn't need the managers to tell them to go fight. Every game was a challenge. They fought for it. It's the players. I'm sorry. The players that you have, in my opinion, are just not good enough, in my opinion, for what you want to represent, which is title challenges. They're not. Malo Gusto, Madueke, these guys are not going to win you the title. I don't know where they bought these guys from. Enzo, I like Enzo. He's a good player. Nicholas Jackson, really? Against Salah and Haaland? What's he going to do? They may win the game, yes, but in 38 games, they're not winning it. They're not good enough. They're just Raheem Sterling. The media talks about Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer was a guy that couldn't make the bench, couldn't make the first team of City. And now he's a star of Chelsea. That should be a warning sign to everyone. How can that happen? Why is that happen? Why is Palmer, the academy boy, who was, had maybe 5 or 6 games in the first 11 of City, why is he the guy that's leading the line at Chelsea? Chelsea Football Club, double European champions. After us, in fact, in the last 10, 15 years, right, they and us have been the most successful club in England since the Premier Leagues. Let's be clear, not Liverpool, not United, it's Chelsea and City. And Cole Palmer, the guy you got from the academy here, is who's leading the line. You got to think about how you build your team. I mean, seriously. And it's not against the fans. The fans know what they want. The fans are used to success and building great teams that can win and challenge on all fronts. The fans are there. But the ownership, come on. This is kind of where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can be dangerous, fine. But the issue is not the game. The issue is the trend. City loses game tomorrow, the title's not over. It's one blip. It's not over. It's still a long way to go. But the issue is that if Chelsea are going to be serious, right, you really need to look at your recruitment and the structure in place. If
they're going to make it out for us tomorrow, it's going to be a tight game, I don't know why.
No, it won't be a tight game. It's not going to be a tight game. All this stuff. So where the Etihad? It's not going to be a tight game. It won't be a tight game. It may be 3-1, 2-0.
Yeah, but Carl, you've just said it yourself that these man, they will fumble against United. They'll go play games against. Then they'll come to us.
Spurs came there with shit players. They still draw 3-3.
Yeah, but then you have to think about where we are in the season. With the moment we are in the season, we're not in November, October, or September, where we were trying to figure out formations. You're now in the running. You're late.
Patrick, I think it's a different part. Like what Carl's trying to say is that we're in the part of the season where it's very crucial.
You're in the running right now.
I know, but a lot of people think we're going to beat them like 4-0.
No, that's not happening. Nobody's going to beat them 4-0. There's not
going to score that much.
That's not happening. Let's be, only kids say things like that, right?
Yeah.
That's not happening. But it's going to be. They have runners. They have good balls.
Patrick, are you doing the formation today, or are you gonna?
Not really. I'm just doing opposition. We're just gonna talk.
Right? I'm looking at both sides. I'm looking at both sides. They're a good team. They have good runners, right? They have good runners who can run the ball. But the problem is that they're so inconsistent in game to game that you don't know who's gonna show up. And if you don't show up,
but they play well against Aston Villa. And what's it called?
Aston Villa, terrible, my guy.
But against Crystal Palace, they were shit, but they still get the win though.
Is it Crystal Palace that it's just Sacroy Hodgson?
But Kevin,
you like to qualify these things, right? Here's the fact of the matter. How many top 6 teams have they beaten?
But no top 6 teams.
Only Tottenham down to 9 men. That's the only team he's
only
beaten.
Tottenham down to 9
Liverpool and
right? And before they could beat Tottenham down to 9 men, right? What had to happen? We literally were all saying, "What are you doing?"
To be a red card.
No, even that. Change your tactics. They're playing a high line with 9 men. All you have to do is start a little deeper and transition through. That tells you the immaturity of some of the players.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, right? It's so if City are serious tomorrow and don't faff around with the lineup, don't play Foden wide, right? You play your Foden central with De Bruyne, right? You play as if you want to win the game and don't do this
Are you
crazy
talking about
experiments.
you talking about your coach? You're
I'm
talking
just
about
saying
Pep.
I'm just saying what we need to do.
Yeah,
Right?
Pep is gonna do madness just like the
Right?
way
Just don't do the Everton lineup. You do what we know is the right thing to do, right? You should win the game at home. Should.
Pep will goes like, you guys cost this last game. Oh, that was nice. You know what? Let me switch the formation because I'm bored. Let me do the other one so that you guys will stress yourself. Guardiola sometimes I don't know what's wrong with him. But for me, I think what I think about the game, let's just hope that Posh play do stupid formation. You know that guy.
He's not going to do stupid formation. He's going to play. What he's going to do, he's going to play in the 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 narrow. That's what he's going to do. Right? What he's going to try and do, and mark this tomorrow, he's going to try and play a little higher line. He's not going to pack the bus.
Yeah, but he was saying today that they're going to attack us,
The idea behind him is going to try to win the ball a little higher the field and transition towards goal. That's what he's going to try and do, which is good. Which means that Guardiola cannot experiment with some foolish formation. You just can't do it. Playing Foden out wide as a right wing / wing back. So what you need in that game is creativity.
Wait a minute, Carl. Let me ask the Chelsea fans. Let me ask this. I'll start with forward. You've heard what Kawa said, that first of all, you guys seem to show up against City and then you go play nonsense against United and let United slap you. It's quite funny because Kawa and I have done previews where you guys were the underdog. Remember, Kawa, the Champions League, you and me were like, I don't think they'll show up. I don't think they're good enough. And then they decided to do this miracle. But obviously also Pep Guardiola decided to do his foolishness, which he confessed later on, said, I did not see the fact that I thought that we were fluid enough to beat Chelsea without a DM, which was funny. And then Gundogan came and said, I woke up in the morning and I got a text saying you're playing DM and I have to listen to the manager. But forward, listening to what the City fans are saying, can you please tell me, because I know Abdullahi wants a beating and Abdullahi is always wants a beating. But Abdullahi changes because if Chelsea do something tomorrow, Abdullahi, I'm pretty sure will be popping bottles like HH shamelessly. Forward. Do you see anywhere in any shape or form where after Adam has said this is where City becomes serious, Carl says this is where City becomes serious, Kevin says he thinks you guys will cause trouble. Do you see in any shape or form where you come to the Etihad and get 3 points?
Ooh, to get 3 points, wow. That would be very, very. We would need a lot of things to work in our favor to get 3 points at the Etihad. Can we put up a really good performance and give you guys trouble? I believe that's possible. I believe there's a good chance of that. I think, like you guys have been saying, I think there's a probably bigger chance of you guys absolutely baptizing us and sending us home back to London with a proper spanking. I think that's very likely because, again, while we've had some good performances in big games, I think they've mainly come at home. Again, obviously, the likes of yourself, Liverpool and Arsenal, all the top 3 title challenges, we had very good draws and we had very good performances and draws in those games. But away from home, against tough teams, especially teams that are in form, no, we've not only lost games, but we've lost them badly. Like against Man United, we got outplayed. I think we could have scored 2 or 3 goals. They could have scored 7 or 8. Like we got absolutely panned. It was only 2-1. Against Newcastle away, people forget this, when they had only like 13 senior players fit. They destroyed us like, 3 or 4? No, I mean, I switched off like halfway through the game, so we were getting pammed in it. So I didn't see the rest of the game, but we got pammed. Absolutely blammed. Anfield, we just came from there getting slapped 4-1. So listen, man, we've had some really bad performances in big games. We still got to go to obviously the Etihad, which we're going to now. We've obviously just been to Anfield, been pammed. We're probably going to get pammed by Arsenal, most likely away from home. And listen, in terms of our setup, it will be what we've seen in a lot of big games, which is like this kind of 4-4-2. It's technically a 4-2-3-1, but it's a box midfield of Gallagher and Palmer, who's kind of like the false 9. Then obviously Enzo, like I said, behind it. And it did work well in some of these big games. But obviously, that comes down to if the players actually apply themselves properly, if Poch has the right tactics, because you can be quite open with how we play. And obviously, we're open against City and it doesn't work, and we're off the press by a little bit. we're gonna get destroyed. Because what we did at Stamford Bridge is we were on the press. Gallagher was on Rodri and had a lot of success, and we were able to be in that game. And we did concede 4, but we also had enough chances to score 4. So that's where it's gonna be obviously tricky in that aspect of the game. But even if we're on our A game and we give you guys a great game and we actually come to take points over you lot, because this is obviously our dress rehearsal for the cup final against Liverpool next week. So we need to put in a good performance here. But even on our best day, this is one of the toughest assignments. In fact, this is the toughest assignment in world football, because we're going against Man City at Etihad, and you guys are literally in your groove. Again, you're 11 wins in a row at this stage of the season. This is when you guys are hitting prime time.
KDB is back and Foden is in form.
Yeah, I mean, it's dangerous. So again, and if you lot play your system how you should be, with De Bruyne and Foden in the middle, maybe Alvarez off the right and Doku on the left, because obviously Grealish is out injured, then you guys should cook us, bro. Because again, 11 wins in a row, Man City at this time, like this is pain, bro. Like this is when you just expect to hold a payment, and I feel like we should get battered. And obviously, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not with Abdullahi like, well, I want us to lose and get battered, because obviously I always want my team to win.
Abdullahi wants a crucifix. He wants to make sure that the badge is done. The lion on your badge, as I said, has to run back to Africa when you're done. That's basically what he wants.
You know what it is? I don't
but
know.
Matt, just to finish my point on that, sorry, it's just that, like, even if we get battered, like, I don't see these board owners sacking Poch right now. I don't think it's gonna happen, especially with us being in the final. So I just don't see that happening. So while I want us to obviously do well, and in reality, I probably want you guys to win, just because the 3 points don't mean as much to me. Whereas if you lot win, it's a better chance of you guys winning the league and stopping my rivals from winning the league. Because I hate Liverpool and I hate Arsenal even more. So if you lot win the league, that's great for me. But yeah, ultimately, I'd probably do expect you guys to batter us, because you guys are in form. In fact, no. One last thing I want to actually add is that you guys are coming off from a performance against Everton that was poor. For you guys standard, that was a very poor performance, and you obviously bailed out late with the 2 Haaland goals. But for you guys, that was a poor performance, and probably the wake-up call that Guardiola needs to say, you know what, I'm going to put Foden in the middle. I'm going to definitely start De Bruyne, and we're going to go for this game, because we can't afford to drop points. Cannot afford to drop points. So I feel like you guys are going to be on your A game. You should batter us, to be honest, given how we're probably going to set up. And yeah, I think that's probably what's going to happen. But you never know in the Premier League. You never do know. Chelsea could turn up and it could be a surprise. But I'm expecting City to be on their A game and batter us.
You never know. So Adam, what were you about to say?
No, I was saying I've been thinking about this game, and for some reason, in my mind, 2-0 keeps popping up. 2-0 to City, and KDB getting a goal, and Foden scoring one, or even Haaland for some reason. I don't know. I saw something about that. The reason why Chelsea will probably not sack Poch is due to do something with FFP, because if they do, it's going to cost them a lot of money to sack him. I could be wrong. That's what I saw.
I don't believe that, but okay, you could go ahead. I don't believe that, because the Chelsea ownership are very educated. They understand this FFP stuff. But for me, I don't believe that, but it's okay.
AB says Copa must go in the winner tomorrow. Sami Sosa says CFC needs to get slapped. I need 5, 6, 7, 0. Do not draw to them. Veta says great show. Will join shortly. He's just joined. Welcome, Veta. Hi Mail says evening, people. Anthony says it's pretty easy. It's a City win. There is nothing more to it. Anthony, come on, Chelsea fan, have some heart. Annie says shout out to the panel. So Abdullahi,
I'm actually surprised. Normally Anthony is the positive one, but today he's acting negative.
A lot of people that knows me very well knows me very like that. It makes me laugh, because when you see, there is a way you can lose matches, and we fan base will understand that. Okay, it happens. It's beaten. It happens. They can just move on. But when you lose matches and the manager has in the helm as your manager, does not even instill confidence in you as a fan base, then how do I explain myself as a fan supporting that manager? It's going to be difficult for me to do, because the manager himself is not helping himself. So for me, like I already said already, the ownership are banking their heart on the Carabao Cup final. Okay, against Liverpool, that one, me, I'm not sure on that one. Me, as a fan base, I'm not sure. Because in as much as Liverpool have Sabatla injured, Alexander Arnold injured, Alisson Becker injured, I'm still not sure of the final, because I don't know which Chelsea will turn up in that final. I don't know. That's why I want you guys to beat us tomorrow.
Bixby voice privacy content.
And Abdullah, I think this is where,
My bad.
and he
Bixby
we
voice
talk,
privacy content.
he has something in the background. And Abdullah, this is kind of where you and I talk a lot, right? We've been talking for years about football, not just City or Chelsea, but football in general. We were on the show, Patrick, when the whole crisis with the former owner came about. We predicted everything down to the last T with all the analysis, all the stuff that all these ITK journalists are writing right now. We talked about it, a year and a half ago. We talked about Enzo. We talked about Alvarez. We all talked about that, right? So we have things that are in common. What frustrates me, I think, what frustrates Abdullahi and some Chelsea fans, like, what's my friend's beginning? That guy, the guy on Blue Studio that I really like, Abdullahi, what's his name? My friend, not Blue Eyes, the other one.
Emmy.
What? Emmy, yes, Emmy, my very good friend, right? What frustrates him and even me is the fact that you guys just need to be consistent. Just be consistent.
I think we should be, like, for the level of the club that we are, we should be. But again, we've hired all these kids with so much inexperience. And what you guys know, especially as City fans, is consistency comes with the experienced players, the experienced vets who know their roles and know how to perform them at a high level. Our players have the ability to perform occasionally, but to do it consistently in a team, especially with a system that isn't being coached that great by the manager, you're not going to find that consistency right now.
Yeah, I know the argument it takes time. I do agree, yes, it takes time. But Tottenham have been there for, the guys been there for half a year now? And they're challenging up there, right? Why?
No, it's true. It's true. I think they have more experienced players, but there's also no excuse for us to be 11th, right? Like, we should maybe be like, let's say 6th or 7th, and it still wouldn't be good enough, but it'd be acceptable. Obviously, 11th isn't acceptable. Like, we can all agree on that. And that's why for me, I'm punch out in the summer.
Yeah, that's a frustration for me as a City fan, because you don't know what to expect, So do you, how do you play against them? Are they going to play up to the level? Are they going to? This is kind of the issue. Burnley. We know Burnley. We know what Burnley is going to do. We're not Sean Dyche going to do Everton. We all know. Just don't know what these
Carl, for me, I can see them doing. Potentially, they'll probably do a similar thing to what they did the game that they played us.
That game, we're foolish, man. We're foolish in that game. Made stupid mistakes.
I've never seen you lot play that so bad and make so many mistakes, honestly.
Yeah, we did. And Walker got cooked by Raheem. Oh my God, he got cooked.
Because that game really annoyed me. And like what me and Carl, we always say to each other, like whenever we talk to each other, we always say, listen, whenever City lose the game, has been due to individual errors.
Adam, can I ask you? Are you streaming from a plastic bag? Because you sound like you're in a plastic bag or something.
No, I have a blocked nose. I've been a bit sick. That's why.
I was wondering.
No,
I thought you were streaming from a plastic bag. Get well soon, man. Get well soon. Yeah. I was about to call the Popo. This guy is streaming from a plastic bag. Anyway, let's welcome Veta. Veta, how you doing, man? Are you listening to what Adam is saying, that maybe Chelsea will play the same way like they did against us in the last game? So, but anyway, let me welcome you to the channel. And guys, follow Veta, subscribe to his channel, subscribe to Abdullah's channel. I'll let all these guys shout out at the end. Pitch Points, subscribe to Pitch Points. You can follow Forward and Adam down Twitter. But anyway, let me ask you, Veta. How do you feel about this game? Because we've got two Chelsea fans here, and they all have different opinions. Abdullahi says he wants Poch out, and he wants Man City to beat. He said he wants Man City to sacrifice his own team tomorrow to make sure that Pochettino leaves. Forward says he's very positive. There's no point of changing the manager, and he's hopeful that maybe the team will turn up. Carl said that. He hates the fact that sometimes Chelsea pick who they show up against. He wants them to be consistent, but he's also criticizing them for being rubbish most of the time. Adam, as you see, he thinks the team Chelsea might end up using the same tactics like last time. So what are your thoughts on the game yourself, and what have you been thinking of Pochettino so far as a manager before we go to Pep Guardiola, who was also doing some foolishness at the beginning of the season?
Well, I got a series of things. I mean, long overdue. Thanks for having me on the show. Blessings to you, continued speedy recovery. And listen, if you guys haven't subscribed, do it right now and hit that like button. All right. The road to 3K. I must say this because I've been listening, and I know I'm overdue to get the CIA back, but let me hit you with a intelligent agenda that I have. I want Poch to go, but I don't want him to leave the Prem. I want these Chelsea fans to want him out, beg him out, and then have him end up at Crystal Palace or West Ham. I don't think he's a terrible manager. I think he's got to deal with like very unusual circumstances with so much youth at Chelsea and the pressure of they are Chelsea. Here's the standards that we play at. But this new ownership and the influx of young talent, it's just, I don't know which manager could get rhyme or reason from it. But from an agenda standpoint, I would love Poch to be let go because I think that does weaken Chelsea. And I'd like him to stay in the Prem at Crystal Palace or West Ham because I love the turf wars that happen within London. But this game in particular, we're going to get Chelsea's best. We're going to get Chelsea's best for one main reason, and it's right behind me. They're coming after us because of what we've won, how we've been, and we get everyone's best shot. Doesn't matter who we're playing. We get their best game against us, and we got Chelsea's best game at the time against us at the Bridge, that 4-4. The form that we're in, I'm still confident in what we do, but they do have some dangerous weapons over there. And if it happens to be players that just want to show up and have, you know, the spotlight on them because again they're playing against the European and English champions, it's what we got to deal with. But our players are up for it. Every man, every phase, whether it's in defense, in midfield, or attack, we should be winning this game. And I think we should be winning it pretty comfortably, knowing the importance of keeping pace with the threats that Arsenal and Liverpool are. But yeah, a sacrifice, I don't even think Pep would go out and do that. The fixtures are so congested. I think Pep, if it was clear these guys aren't on it for today and we're going to leave here with like a 2-3-0, I don't think he goes on and tries to cut the jugular. I think he's like, we'll take our 3 points and we'll move. I'll get some rotation on these players and move on because we just played Champions League. We've got a lot of games that are going to be on these players' legs. So, nah, sacrifice. I don't think we're doing that to them this game.
Yeah, but you know, also this is the Etihad, and Pep always wants entertainment. So FCB, happy birthday to you. Says City fans, it's my birthday, guys. Need you guys to beat Chelsea for me. I need a fight piece. What's with the Bayern fans, the other fans from other clubs? What's with this hate towards Chelsea? What has Chelsea done to you guys? Most people are saying they want Chelsea to be sacrificed. City need to do better.
I can answer that.
At least defensively. Go ahead.
Why
is there hate? Why is there hate for
Patrick,
Chelsea?
you don't remember when Chelsea knocked out Bayern Munich out of the Champions League?
As
Say
a
that-
Chelsea
okay,
fan,
Abdullah.
it's not, me,
I said you don't
Me
remember when
wanting to
Chelsea
sacrifice
knocked out
is
Bayern Munich?
No. Me wanting a sacrifice is very, very simple. I just want him out of my club. Very simple. Because if we win tomorrow, it's gonna be Poch turn it around. I don't want him to turn one stupid corner. Just get him out of my club.
Patrick, you know, I can imagine every goal that City
Club.
scored tomorrow. I can imagine Abdullah just in front of his TV, celebrating every
I'll be
City
so
goal.
Oh my! I can't wait. Please, that's why I'm begging you guys. I need a sacrifice tomorrow. 1-0, I will not be happy. I need like 4-5 because people call me stupid. Thiago Silva has been our best defender and he's injured. That's the guy that has been saving us.
Abdullah, you're shameless. You're the most shameless individual I've ever met in my life.
But we've been knowing this though. We've been knowing this.
By Cowell and Disasi tomorrow against Haaland and KDB. I'm not joking. That's a sacrifice. I'm not joking. That's a sacrifice.
Carl, did you hear that? So Thiago Silva is out.
He's out
He picked up
tomorrow.
a knocks against Palace.
Patrick. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
that kid Lewis, and then I don't know who they decide to play.
I'm telling you, I need you to sacrifice because you see that Disasi and Cowell, I don't trust them as a partnership. I do not. Both of them have bozo moment in them. One bozo moment for KDB, that slip pass to Haaland is game over. And I'm hearing Pochettino will start Sanchez.
Who else is injured apart from Lavia, who is just a shadow?
Pochettino starts Sanchez tomorrow. Please, I need a 7-0.
To answer your question, Patrick, obviously we're missing obviously Reece James, who's been out for a long time, Cucurella as well, obviously Thiago Silva. Obviously, Fofana's been out for ages. If I was just to tell you that lineup, I think it'd be easier going through who's going to play rather than who's not available for us. It will probably be Petrovic and goal. I don't think he'll bring Sanchez back immediately, but who knows with that
Who
one.
is this Petrovic? I hear some people are saying he's better than Edison. That's what Chelsea fans are
Oh,
saying.
he's not. No, let's not do. He's not that. He's been good. A good young keeper that we got from the MLS. Not great with his feet, but he's been good shot stopping. Good at the command in his box. He's been all right for us. So again, for the amount that we paid for him as well, it's been a shrewd buy, I'd say. So obviously he'll be in goal. It will be Gusto right back. The Sarsi and Cole centre backs, which I have no problem with personally. Again, I love Thiago Silva, legend of the game, even legend for us as well in a short time. But he's 40 years of age.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
So
Yeah, so just to say on Silva, obviously, he's 40 years of age, and I don't feel like I really want to see him play 3 times in a week, and then the end that ends up being against Haaland at Etihad. Like, I ain't really trying to see all that. So, the Sarsi Cole was centre backs. Chilwell at left back, who is a walking grenade launcher, but it is what it is. Obviously, Enzo and Caicedo in the middle. I think it will be Palmer, and I think the front four will be Palmer, Gallagher. I think Raheem will come back in, and it will be Nicholas Jackson up front. I think that's what it will be.
What about Nkunku? I thought you've got Nkunku. He's fit.
We do have him, but Poch is using him sparingly, and this is where obviously the brother that's on screen, who I agreed with a lot of his points that he made. But one thing he said about obviously Poch, being a good coach, which I do agree. I think he is a good coach, and for sure this is a difficult job to come into with all the mitigating circumstances. Again, a relatively naive board, young players, all these things, right? But I still feel like he's gotten a lot of things wrong, and also the use of Nkunku, because you've been using him just as a striker. And I think in the Premier League, where you play a lot of low blocks, Nkunku as a striker isn't really it. I feel like you need to get him more involved in the game, whether that's from out wide or in a central position. And leaving him up front hasn't worked great. And I feel like he'll probably continue to just use him from the bench, maybe manage his minutes a little bit. So I think he'll be on the bench. But just to ask the brother on screen a question based on Poch and how he kind of rates Poch, and I feel like Poch isn't doing too bad of a job, which I
This
understand.
guy? You're talking about this guy, Veta?
Yes, Veta. Yes, Veta. Yeah, that's his name, Veta. Good. Listen, Poch should not have Chelsea in 11th place, and I can go through a myriad of reasons why over the season tactically he's got this wrong, team selection he's got this wrong and that wrong, right? You've seen Ange come into the league with Tottenham and get them balling straight away. You saw what Gerrard was doing, the nonsense he was doing at Aston Villa. A serious manager comes in Emery and takes them from bottom half of the table to Europe within half a season, and then has them now top 4 in the league. You can see what managers can do, even with tough circumstances, with okay players, but maybe not players that suit their system, right? So for me, I look at Poch, and I feel like you can do better. Again, you cannot use Gallagher in games against a low block as a number 10, where we know he's not a creative player. And we've been seeing this throughout the season. And again, you look at Ian Manson, who was a quality left back who suits how we want to play, being a technical player, great pressure resistance, good at progressing the ball. You didn't want to use him once. You used Levi Colwill at left back and let him die there for most of the season. And now Ian Manson's let to go out on loan to Dortmund, a team who finished top of the Champions League group, and now he's already rookie of the month in his first month there. And now he's benching when their main starter, Ben Sebaini, he was at AFCON. So, again, I put the question to Veta. What makes you so confident that Poch should do a great job elsewhere, given the fact that at Chelsea, with pretty decent tools available to him, he has us below Wolves in the table, below Wolverhampton?
Yeah. No, so this is difficult because there's no way to qualify it. There's no way to really measure it. But I think when you think of the psychology, the mentality that you have to have as a manager and players, because he's dealing with young players, and I'll be the first to admit, I believe young players are the most fragile, the most ones you got to cater to, the ones you got to kind of nurture because they're egos. I think him making mistakes on who to really start, who to drop, like, of course you can look at what he's messed up tactically, but I think his choice in terms of players is trying to balance, who the club signed and the egos that he's going to try to cater, because he doesn't want to lose these young players that are on contracts for many years, right? So I think it's just a combination of that. I know he's not flawless. I know he's made his errors. I know he's missed opportunities to maybe be higher in the table. But from a manager, and obviously what he did while in the Prem, what he did with the constraints of Spurs, I think he's faltering, but there's a manager that can make it right. And he's not. You guys aren't far off in terms of being 7th or whatever, right? It's like what 6 points is would be like a huge difference from where you are to where the other clubs are. So I think it's better to not lose the quality of manager than to go out and try to venture and find someone else, because again, it'd be another manager for these players to have to adjust to. And I think find out who plays for the badge, find out who will play for the manager out of respect as player to manager, and then make those decisions. But I think he deserves. Let me be careful. I shouldn't say deserve, but I think another year would actually determine whether he is completely wrong for Chelsea or can right things.
Interesting.
Sorry to cut you short, but this is there is a difference between Abramovich and the Boli era. I understand what Boli wants to do in terms of giving him time because of the young players, injuries. Pochettino cannot be using injuries as an excuse. It's for me, the time has passed. He's been saying that from the beginning of the season. I have many injuries. You see, this player is not available. He's been saying that since August. We are in February. He's still using that same terminologies. Injuries. And I'm asking myself, why? Because if you have an injury, I expect a manager to adapt. At least adapt to your team. You can have an injury to accommodate the injury. Then, when the player you deem fit is okay to play, you can switch back your formation. I've seen Pep Guardiola when other than KDB get out, Pep Guardiola was in the back three. Not just because he doesn't have the player, because he wants to be adapted.
But we've seen managers like Klopp not adapt, right? Like we saw a manager like Klopp try to force feed.
Yes, this stubbornness of sticking to a back. I'm like, coach, we have a lot of injury player. Can you just adapt and switch something to fit into the player we have? I know Sima is our best in terms of defending, but play a back three where you can suit and accommodate your players together to make them play better. But it's too stubborn. He won't do it. So. Me wanting him to go, not just because I don't deem him as a good coach, but I believe he's too stubborn to his philosophy. Where I keep asking myself the same question: Is this Chelsea team really that bad? Are we gonna be a level to table? No. Caicedo, Enzo, and Co are not an horrible player. They are not a bad player. Yes, they are young. They can always do better. But I expect the manager caliber of Pochettino to improve this player. For me, I keep telling people. Apart from Palmer, maybe Gusto in my head, maybe Enzo sometimes, Caicedo sometimes.
Conor Gallagher, don't forget him.
Those players are just individually good themselves. I don't see any player Pochettino has improved in that team.
Why are you not saying Conor Gallagher, who's been carrying that midfield?
Patrick, Gallagher is not carrying our midfield. The English
give the kid credit. I don't know. I think Conor is.
This is me with Conor Gallagher. He running, everything. Yeah, give me your end product. 0. There are some certain matches where when you play low block, you play Gallagher. And I'm asking myself, we have players who can unlock low block on the bench, who are very technical, who can actually score goals. You keep playing Gallagher. That is the reason the Chelsea board does not want to renew his contract, because they're looking at it that Gallagher does all these runnings. Is he technical enough to be in the Chelsea squad? No. I can guarantee you, if Romeo Lavia was fit, Gallagher is going to be on the bench. He will be a bench player because the ownership would demand Lavia to play, not Gallagher. They would demand him to play because that guy is good. In terms of being a natural central defensive midfielder, he is that good of a player. So Gallagher plays just because Romeo has been out, he's been injured out, and I'm pissed off because I want that guy to just be fit. Just stay fit. So that Gallagher can remain on the bench. But with Poch, he has this fetish with some loyalty player, which might cost him his job.
You're fine up there. So Carl, you've been quiet for a while. So Carl, let me go to the City side, sir, because we've heard enough of Abdullahi's hate for Poch. It was Potter out, now it's Poch out. What about yourself, Carl? What do you want from Pep Guardiola? Because Carl, you know yourself. I know that Jack Grealish is injured. Jack Grealish was doing very well in the last match. I'm not gonna be a hater. I'm not a Jack Grealish hater, as people know that. I just appreciate the brother, but I just want the brother to do better. Jack Grealish is out. Bernardo Silva apparently has been assessed this evening, but rumors are he's fit and training, but they're hiding. Who else is out? I don't think apart from Jack Grealish, I don't know who else is out, because Sergio Gomez, the hero, Gomez is back. Sergio Gomez probably is gonna dunk on Chelsea. So it's a full squad, but you know yourself, Carl. And Carl, as much as you say this is the business end, we have Pep Guardiola, who sometimes wakes up in the morning, looks at the bench and says, today, Akanji, you're going to play striker. So what do you want from tomorrow, from Pep Guardiola, and what do you want from the players?
I think City fans, and Patrick, Adam, Kelvin here, will bear it. Once we see the lineup, we know what we're getting. We just know. I think we're so used to. I mean, we watch these guys. What in a year? Probably 100 plus games in a year. What's that? 10,000 minutes or so. You watch them, right? When you watch something for thousands of minutes, you get a sense of what you expect. You know the players, you know the chemistry, you know what to expect. My hope is that when we see the lineup tomorrow, just like we did for Copenhagen, we all knew, these guys are going to cook today because the lineup is good, right? Even with Jack involved in that game against Copenhagen, we knew what to expect. It was fluid. They knew where to be, understood where to position. It was clear. I'm hoping that tomorrow, that when we see the lineup, we see things that actually make sense to all of us. Whether it's Foden centrally with De Bruyne, with Rodri, Stones also playing as well with Diaz. We need Walker back there because Walker is going to be the one who kind of cuts off those runners. We need Ake, not Gvardio, because Ake can actually defend.
Gvardio, I think, is injured. Gvardio is injured, but the double agent Kovacic is back.
Right, and you're also gonna need cover for Doku if he starts on the left hand side, or does he play Oscar Bob on the left hand side because Oscar has some control, right? So these are the things that
if he plays Oscar Bob will cook these guys. A forward and Abdullah, you guys are not ready for Oscar. This kid would cook you.
No, he's a baller, man. I've actually been really impressed with him, and it actually does lead me on to my question, obviously, which is about a certain son returning to Etihad.
Oh, ask Carl.
I have to ask because Pep doesn't get a lot wrong, right? And even then, you obviously leave a certain somebody out and you bring in Oscar Bob, who's obviously a super talent. Foden's taken more responsibility this season and been quality, and now you've got KDB back, right? So you're not lacking for creativity. However, you did let go of a certain somebody who was raved about for ages, somebody that I did rate watching him in youth football for England, ball out. And even in the limited minutes he got with you guys, he always looked like he was at that level. But he wanted more, and Pep said no, and he chose to leave. Did Pep Guardiola make a mistake letting go of the young player of the season for me, Cole Palmer?
No, because he would never start for us. Just won't start. He never started for us. Listen, I had the pleasure, I had the benefit, I had the privilege of going to the Super Cup in Sevilla, in Athens, against Sevilla. I was fortunate to be right behind the coaching staff. I mean, literally, I could smell their perfume in the cologne. That's how close I was. And the stadium is a very small stadium, the Olympica Stadium. It's very packed, very small. And you can I could actually see Pep speaking to the players. I could hear what he was saying. I could see spit coming from his mouth. That's how close I was. And literally, you know how you have the players sitting down?
It's an odd description, but I hear it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain how close I was, right? Yeah, I was privileged to be there, right? I was literally sitting behind the coaching staff, like right there, to the point where I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want them to hear me say, "What the hell are you doing?" or X, Y, and Z. That's how close it was. Like, for the turn around, look at me like, "Shut up," right? And he was literally coaching this guy step by step throughout the whole game. I mean, literally. If you notice in the first half of that game, when Palmer was on the other side of the field, he was on the right side of the field. He was on the side of the Sevilla fans because they harassed him. He didn't quite know what to do. Maybe it's Pep, holding him back, or maybe it's Pep trying to control him. But when he was on the other side, that's how he got the goal. The manager was coaching him side by side. My issue with him is the fact that I think it's fine. Go to Chelsea. It's a good thing for him to go to Chelsea because he improves Chelsea, which means you take points of Liverpool, you take points of Arsenal, of United. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to spread these players around the whole of the Premier League because
they take 2 points from you, though.
And they took points from us too.
Yeah,
that's fine. But it takes points from everybody else. Imagine if you took points from us and you don't take points from Liverpool or Arsenal. All of a sudden, the whole table's upside down. So it's a good thing. The issue for me is that he wasn't going to get into the first team. Who does he replace? De Bruyne, Foden, It's not happening.
But can I just say on that, and I actually agree with everything that you've said so far. Like, he wouldn't have gotten to the team and played a lot of minutes. Like, even though Oscar Bob looks ready, Prem ready, obviously he's not going to get a lot of minutes because you have a lot of top wingers there. However, we saw the same situation with Foden 2, 3, 4 years ago, where he wasn't getting a lot of minutes, and everybody said that, oh, this guy's ready, he can play.
He's not Foden level. It's a problem. He's not. Foden is.
You don't think he's as good as Foden was at the same age?
No, not at all. See, let me explain. Foden is. If Foden was Spanish, we're talking about Xavi Iniesta levels. This kid is something else. He is the epitome of everything the academy has been building. And I say that because I'm fortunate again to be one of the city coaches in the USA where they teach us, we help U8, U10, U12 kids, and we'll talk about this tomorrow, right? And we have the 13-week program where they give us to these kids, and the curriculum and what they're teaching these kids here. Foden is encapsulation of everything, that the whole thing. The close control, the intelligence, the moving on and off the ball, the directness, the dribbling 1v1, the positional play awareness, all those things are what everything the whole program is built on. Palmer is good, but Foden is at a different level. And this argument with Saka, it's not even a debate, mate.
No, it isn't.
It's not a debate. Now, Palmer, in my opinion, I think Palmer has more to offer than Saka does, right? Because Palmer can play that number 10 role. He can play the false 9. He can play left. He can play right. He can play those positions well. He's very, very, very good. Right?
He even played as a number 8. Remember in the FA Cup, Pep put him as a number 8.
Would he be the Foden level? I don't think he is, but he's an excellent addition to the Chelsea squad. So I'm not beefing him on that, right? My beef is with the media, right? Who are piling expectations on this kid. Let the boy just grow and learn and enjoy his football with Chelsea Football Club.
That is
why all this pressure the media and he himself should just zip it up and just say, I'm happy at Chelsea Football Club. I want to support the team. Don't go to the media and start yapping off. Oh, I want to go back to the airtime, do X, Y, and Z. What if it doesn't happen? What happens then? Grow, just enjoy your football. You're young. That's right? I mean, I hope we're having an open discussion about.
That's why I said I am pissed off with Pochettino with the way he's handling the team, because if a manager like Jose was our manager, you're not gonna see a player come into the press and be speaking, because Jose will not like. Firstly, Jose will tell the players, "Hello, we have a big match on Saturday, and you're doing this bullshit. What the heck is going on?"
Yeah. Who's that interview where he was saying he wants to show that they made a mistake? Who was he talking to? Was he talking to BBC?
He was talking to Ferdinand about AS Roma.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just think what Mr. Cow says right now makes me happy, because there's no do money.
Let me just wrap my point. And just the last point I want to make is that you cannot hold a talent like Palmer back sitting on the bench. He has to go play. And the reason I have a son who loves this game. He is obsessed with it.
And he's also a baller.
7-year-old kid who's talking about 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 systems, formations, inside, playing wide, playing inside, playing all these things, learning from the academy, right? If my son was Palmer, I don't want to sit him on the bench. I know De Bruyne is there. I know Alvarez is there and Haaland is there. Let him go to another club, a top club, and go play. It's a good thing. We should celebrate Pep for allowing him to go.
Yeah, because it was Pep's decision to say that we're not going to loan you. It's either you stay or you're sold.
Exactly. So, it's a good thing. It's a good thing for him to go and play. Either you stay with us or you go and play. We should appreciate. England should be happy that this manager is allowing these guys to go do that.
Yeah, we know we should be. And listen, if Southgate has any minerals, we'll take him to the Euros, and he can even have an impact there as well. So I agree with that, and I agree with everything that you said. To be honest, like I think you did. Like I recognize that Foden is better. I'm not gonna say levels above. I would say he is better. Even at the same age, I think he still offered more, right? But you said that somebody of Palmer's ability shouldn't be held back and he should be allowed to play. And to be fair, I hear that, but you did obviously do the same thing with Foden. I'm not going to say Pep did it wrong by holding back Foden, because obviously he's here now. I think at the age of 24, and he's one of the best players.
Foden's just different. He's just different player. Foden.
Well, let me see what I think. But I just think that, again, you can say Foden's better, which I'm not going to disagree with. I think Foden at the same age had a lot to offer. Obviously, we just didn't see enough of it, like we're seeing with Palmer. Palmer's playing week in, week out. Foden's sort of embedded in slowly, right? But I think the major difference I just think the major difference for me is that Palmer, I'm not saying that he's more of a winning or he has a better mentality than Foden. I'm not saying that at all. I think he's a bit more of like a free spirit and like he's a bit more like, I think he maybe has a bit more, not confidence, but maybe more arrogance to say that, you know what, I don't want to wait around. I want to go. And I think with Pep, when it came to Foden, he was happy to make him wait and say, listen, there's Bernardo Silva here. There's obviously maybe even David Silva at the time, De Bruyne, all these guys. So you have to wait. I'm not going to let you even think about leaving. Whereas with Palmer, I feel like now because of the players that you have now, maybe Pep's like, you know what, we'll afford to let you go. Also because there's an Oscar Bob who can take your spot. And he can also offer us those, he'll be more appreciative of the minutes and offer something.
There's another angle to this too, and I want to drop this for City fans here, is that when you think about the evolution of the squad over time, they're going to build this team around Foden in the future. They will build the team around Phil Foden. They will. Right? And so the question is, are they going to build it around Palmer or Foden? And that's why I'm saying it's a good thing for him to have left to go to Chelsea, because now he can express himself, do what he wants to do, grow at his own as well.
That's a great point, because you know what, they never would have built it around Palmer, because Palmer still would have been there when Foden's entering his prime, if not in his prime. So you know, I hear that completely. I hear that.
Exactly. And these are the big debates, unfortunately, that the media don't want us to have as football fans. Rivals don't want us to have football. We're having an intelligent discussion about why did the guy have to leave? Why is it beneficial? We're coming to the same conclusion. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for the kid. It's a good thing for City. It's a good thing for Chelsea. And it's a good thing, Vita, for England.
Yeah. Because what I wanted to say is what you said 100% right about that. And I was like, with Cole with Palmer, for me, it's been breath of fresh air, even him being a Chelsea player, because for me, he's the only one in that team who has brain. When it comes to actual brain, when you are a baller, you are a baller. That's how I usually analyze players. He has brain. Sometimes he might be a little bit misses his chances, but I still trust him more in our team than the other players we have right now. So, in terms of Cole, for me, that's why I'm angry with Poch, because Poch does more interview rather than doing more tactics on the training page, putting players into position. But he can go into the camera and speak about this, speak about that. But what you are speaking about, can you translate it to the pitch and let us play football? No. But when it comes to interview, you can do 72 interviews a day, talking football. Can you put it on the pitch? Is a no. Same thing with Palmer, to which kind of annoyed me, because I believe, for me, a better manager who understands the game, who is experienced enough, will not let players go out of going to social media and be saying, I can't wait to face this. Pep, see, if someone like Foden or Alan is talking about, Pep will be angry with those players, because he will tell them, why are you doing an interview? I'm the manager. Let me handle the press. I don't want you to do interview. Just shut him out. Let me be the one facing the camera. I know what to say. I know what to do to get into their head. Just shut your mouth. That is what we need in Chelsea. Someone that can tell these young players, why are you doing interview for? It's my job to do interview. Let me go and face the press. Let me face those press. When I face them, I know what to say about what I need to say to them. But when you're having a manager who does interview 7 days a week, talking about football, but when it's time for him to actually put it on the pitch, it's zero. So I don't believe Palmer coming to interview and say, I want to do this in FPL. That's why I said a beat down is important for me tomorrow, because it will make me as a Chelsea fan base, it will make me happy. Not that I'm reaching my club bad. I just want to beat down, because I know the ownership will not sack me, because they have this fetish of the Carabao Cup final against Liverpool. And I keep telling people, you can't be putting your mind on the final, where for me, I'm not even sure what Chelsea will turn up. I know final is a winner.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why the owners want that Carabao Cup final. You know why? Because you win the Carabao Cup final, I believe you go into Europa League.
No, we got Conference League.
Is it Conference League?
Yeah, Cup is Europa League.
I think it's Europa.
Yeah, do you want to pass it to? Do you want to pass the mic to Mr. Veta? I think his glasses are getting foggy. Wait, yeah, go ahead, Mr. Veta.
So
I hope you haven't forgotten. I hope you haven't forgotten what you're about to say.
No, I haven't forgotten. I've gained a couple extra grays while waiting, but I haven't forgotten. Listen.
Sorry, Vita. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm here for the combo. The going back to the whole Cole Palmer and whether Pep made a mistake letting him go. Listen, from a club standpoint, we wanted the talent. We want the talent of Cole Palmer. From a player standpoint, he didn't want to wait. So Pep has said it many times in press conferences. If you don't want to be here, if your head's turned, we'll see you. I wish you all the best. You move on because you don't want that type of mentality of a player half in, half out in your club. But I would say this, and it's difficult when you're maybe the manager or agent of a player or the player themselves about delayed gratification, right? Maybe having to put in the work now and you don't get rewarded later. So for Palmer in particular, and we've all seen this, whether you're a rival or a City fan, a player like Gunnigan said, I thought I knew football. I thought I knew the game until I was coached, managed by Pep. You've had other greats say, Mueller in particular, I thought I knew what I had to do as a player. I thought I knew the game of football until I had Pep. So Palmer making his choice to leave, that's on him. But a player like Foden who said, I'm going to stay, right? Sancho left. Palmer's left. But a player like Foden saying, I'm choosing to stay, there's a delayed gratification, which may not be the easy route in terms of I'm the man. I'm looking around and I'm getting all the minutes I want. I don't have to worry about another player taking my spot. I honestly believe that's a big reason why Declan Rice didn't come to City. Because no matter how great you are, and we've got some great players, you're still going to be on a rotation. There's no guaranteed spot for you. He has that at Arsenal. He would never have that here at City. And Palmer would never have a guaranteed spot on whichever wing it would be here at City. So I think he made the choice on, you know what? I'm going to get those minutes. I'm going to put up those stats that I want. I'm going to go. Players here at City you got to battle it out. Every day you got to prove yourself for Pep to choose you to be part of that 11. And I think Palmer made the choice that made sense for him. As a player, though, I think there's had he stayed here, had he developed, had he just endured and seen what's happened, because I think he would have had strong claims, maybe with minimal challenge between him and Bernardo Silva on that right-hand wing. I think there would have been a lot of interplay that Pep would have done between those two players, but he chose to leave, so off to him. Pep's actually given that right-hand side to Foden and Bernardo. And we know that Pep would actually prefer to have those two centrally. So Palmer may have shot himself in the foot in a sense of if he wanted to be here at City and gotten that wing play, he would have had it. But I don't think there's a slight to either player from a mentality standpoint or maybe ego. I think there's just one that wanted it in a different way. One wanted to get it now, and one wanted it but would put in a little more time before getting it. Between the players.
Okay, cool. That's cool. So, guys, like the vid. There's a lot of you like the vid. I'm liking the banter between Don Smoke. I think Ford was saying Palmer is good at through balls, and Don Smoke says through balls to where.
I just put it in the chat. But I don't know if he's trolling or whatnot. But like, are we gonna really tax Palmer because he's playing through balls to Nicholas Jackson and Broyo? Like, Foden's got Haaland in front of him. Like, it's no comparison.
I don't know. You know, Don Smoke forward. You know, Don Smoke.
Palmer always brings the smoke.
Palmer is creative, does great on and off the ball. His movement is great. It's good. It's good. It's just the debate around, it's a good thing that he left. What's he going to do? Stay on the bench for how long? For what? He's got to go play.
No, of course. And he probably wasn't promised, like you said earlier, he wasn't promised that this is going to be your team in a few years. Foden was promised, I'm sure. So it's different.
You think about Jack Grealish for the past couple of games, he's been benched, right? Because Pep said his training wasn't good enough. That's Grealish, 100 million on the bench.
There's a question here. I don't get it though. It says, how long do you think Silva will play? Palmer was his replacement. He's British boy, which helps you keep another foreign player. I don't really think Palmer was a replacement. Palmer was given, I think Pep said that when Mahrez left and Palmer was pushing to leave, Pep looked at him and said, do you know Riyad Mahrez has left? You will get more minutes. But Palmer, I think, was like, nah, I don't buy it. One of those things where you're like, I've been here. I don't think that's going to happen. But at the end of the day, as Carl and everybody, so we move on from this Palmer thing, because big up to Palmer. I always rated him. Obviously, he disappointed me. The other guy who I was hurt by was Lavia. But Carl, as always, warned me that be careful. There's rumors around that Palmer, the only issue they had with him is he gets injured a lot. And look at this. Behold, he hasn't even played. He looks like he's an AI or some...
Oh, Lavia.
Yeah, Lavia. He's an AI or some figment of our imagination. But anyway, guys, let me go back to the game. I'm going to go back to forward and Abdullah, then I'll go to the City guys. So... let's just close this up. We've already mentioned, obviously, by talking about Palmer, we know that that's going to be the danger man. Raheem last time decided to step up and dunk on Walker. I think Walker was having a bad game. The dunk, like, this is how it is, guys. Raheem was cooking Walker at the point in time where I was supporting Raheem. I was like, yeah, cook him again. I don't know. I don't mean that I hate Walker. It's just like I was saying I've never seen Raheem cook like this for a long time. So I was like, let's just see, go cook him again. Carl, I remember we were texting that this guy is cooking. Raheem was cooking Walker, Carl, remember? So Carl Walker had a bad game, but Carl Walker never had a bad game twice, by the way, with a winger. He always comes back and makes sure that you don't make a fool out of him again. Now, looking at all these things we've looked at forward, what's your score prediction tomorrow? Because I know Abdullahi wants 7-0 to City. What's your score prediction tomorrow?
I think there will be patches of the game where it's competitive and maybe even more like doing well, and we're giving you guys like trouble or cause for concern, I'd say, right? But ultimately, do we have end product in this team, in like reliable end product? No, we don't, especially when Kunku's not starting. You look at Raheem Sterling, he's normally reserved his best performances for the lesser teams in the league. And that's why I was surprised he was cooking Walker that day, because I was like, whoa, you're turning up in the big game. You're giving Walker, who's, again, known as one of the best 1v1 defensive fullbacks in Premier League history, you're giving him a tough game. And again, I was like, are you having a good game because you're familiar with Walker, or is it because maybe Walker was out with the baby mum and he was doing a madness up there? You know, like, is that why? Like, who knows? But do I see that happen again? Probably a combination of both, probably, but that's why I don't really see it happening again, because I don't think lightning will strike twice in that sense. I expect Palmer to have a good game. Obviously, he's reliant on players actually finishing their chances, and obviously Gallagher's coming off a brace, which is great, but those are his first 2 Premier League goals of the season, and that's been a big criticism of mine of Gallagher's, because if you're going to be doing up this kind of like McTominay-ish role for us, and don't get me wrong, he's much better than McTominay, but he's still limited as a footballer, right? So I want to see you actually adding goals to your game, and like he was doing that on loan at Palace. And he hasn't really done that for us this season up until now. So he might be a potential goal threat, but do I see us scoring enough goals to get a result? No, because I feel like City are going to score 3 or 4 goals minimum. And we're not scoring 3 or 4 goals at the Etihad. So I do expect you guys to turn up and play at a quality level. I am going to predict 4-1 City. But I do have one question, right? And maybe this question will actually determine how good we perform. And maybe if we can potentially get a result. Because again, you guys obviously know better than me. Pep loves to tinker and experiment with the lineups and whatnot. But one experiment that makes no sense to me is Akanji playing this DM role, like inverted, like Stones is.
You know,
and obviously,
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
And that's the question I want to ask.
Guess what? Akanji even went to Pep in the last game apparently and told Pep that I'm not comfortable. Pep saying,
Patrick, let me give you guys an insight. Let me give you guys an inside view of that. That's a great point. Again, let's go back to Athens. Okay, back to Athens Super Cup, right? I could literally see, because I can't play that same system against Sevilla, where he's playing that inside role because Stone was injured in that game. Remember, just before the game started, Stone was injured, Stone had to come off, so Akanji had to play that position. I believe that was the first time he played it. And I could literally see Akanji looking at Pep on every single thing about, and Pep was saying, Manu, step up, come forward. And you can see him, he was hesitant.
Yeah, but why Akanji, Cow, out of all the defenders?
Can I say why I think? I think like as fans, we maybe don't appreciate obviously like pace and power, skills and all these things. We don't maybe appreciate and obviously have the inner knowledge of like who are the really intelligent players you can like take on information and apply it. Yeah, and Akanji like is super intelligent for a footballer. So I hear that and like I can see why he would want him to mold into that role, but obviously, I don't see the technical ability to do it as well as Stones. And that's why I was surprised against Everton that Stones is available. He's playing, but you're still making Akanji invert. It just doesn't make sense technically.
Yeah. But this is what we deal with, right? This is the genius and the madman, right?
But I think I can answer you. The thing is, it's to do with workload, right? There's less of a workload playing just as a centre back than playing that inverted role. And if one of your linchpin in Stones just came back from injury, you want to ease his workload and then ease him back into that position. So it doesn't make no sense. Stones is injured for a while. He comes back. First game, gets injured again playing this inverted because of the workload. That position is demanding because you're basically playing 2 positions. You have to play in midfield and run back into defense when it's necessary to. So I understand why he would do it. Even though the choice is wrong, but I understand the thinking behind it.
Can I just ask? So, like against Copenhagen, I only watched highlights, and obviously, again, I saw Foden and KDB cooking, right? So that's kind of got me scared. But obviously, I've seen that Stones played the full 90 minutes, and based on the lineup, I would assume that he was the one inverting. So, like, he inverted for the
Yes,
whole
he did
90.
invert. He went
Okay,
back to that position. It's just
and
a work.
again,
It's,
and on
it's a
again, Pep.
managing workload thing.
I hear that, and obviously Pep being Pep, he only made 2 subs, which again, it's just strange for Pep. Or more
No, but
typical
no.
of Pep.
Forward. You don't understand. Pep does the tinkering the first part of the season, right? Because basically he's trying to see where his squad is at and what are the tools he has at his disposal. If you look at most seasons, the second part of the season, we have a shoehorned lineup, right, of who's going to play and what their roles are. So this thing of Pep tinkering, it only happens the first part. Hence, that's when we drop most of our points. This time of the season, bro, it's just spanking, and you will witness it.
Oh, I mean, I expect it. Listen, it's smoky talk, but I'm not gonna come back and fight it because I'm expecting a 4-1, like I said. But I'm just interested to see that. Obviously, Akanji. I know it's cheeky, but listen, if I have chat for you, I have chat and I'll spit it back. But I'm not. What am I gonna say? What? We're 11th, bro.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
The 11th, man. But so just the point I wanted to just quickly make. Obviously, like, okay, so Stones played the full 90 against Copenhagen. I don't know if he's gonna now start again and if he's gonna invert. Obviously, Akanji and Alvarez didn't come off the bench. I mean, I'd imagine they'd probably start, but I don't know. Obviously, with Pep, he likes
Akanji in big games. He likes Akanji in big games. You will fit him somewhere.
And you think inverting? Expect that?
No.
I don't think after Brentford. I think it's done. Go ahead, don't smoke.
It's either Akanji or Walker, right? Because Diaz most likely will play, and Ake will play left back because Josko is injured. So
Ake is our best defender this season.
You only have one spot available, and that's the right back. So the thing is, you have fast wingers, so it's going to be either Akanji or Kyle.
Okay, and you think definitely Stones will invert? Okay, yeah. If it's Stones inverting, you man are gonna pam us, bro. Because one thing that Rodri struggled with at the bridge is that it was Akanji that was next to him, and he didn't have the same like passing angles that Stones would give him usually. Which is why I saw Rodri have one of his worst games. And again, as you know, obviously Rodri's
dominated in midfield.
Year.
You're right. You dominated us in midfield. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, guys, as you guys will know better than me, you guys are unbeaten in over a year when Rodri's played. Over a year when he's played. So, and obviously, when he doesn't play well, you feel it. And if he's not there, you feel it. So, if he's there alongside Stones, I think you're gonna be more like your usual top self, which should be too much for our midfield.
You know, the weird thing is that, I mean, you highlight this issue about Rodri, highlight about Rodri, and it's unfortunate that he doesn't get the credit that he's due. I mean, you think about, I mean, I don't know who in world football can, and I'm not trying to say because he's a City fan, etc. But I'm saying even if it was another player for another club and he's playing at this level, the question would be is like, who exactly can be his replacement? There's just no one right now. I can't think of anyone who does what he does, offensively, defensively, to keep the ball, the movement. It's just hard. Busquets used to do it. Fernandinho did parts of it. It's just very difficult.
Oh, it is, and I mean, for me, he's the best midfielder in the world. Maybe you can say De Bruyne, and obviously, I thought De Bruyne was kind of declining a little bit last season. Like, there's still obviously spurts of quality, and we're seeing that now. But I feel like maybe like I don't feel like he was as fresh last season, obviously with the injuries and everything. But he's come back fresh. He's come into great form. And listen, right now, it's hard to argue anybody better than him. But I think for Rodri, especially in his position, like I feel he gets a lot of respect from rival fans. We all know Rodri is the don, bro. Like in midfield, if he's having a good game, it's lights out.
And I think, sorry to cut you short, and I think it's pivotal for City to win tomorrow because Liverpool play first. They play early kickoff against Brentford, which is going to be a
tough game, though. That's a tough game.
Yeah. So if they lose to Brentford tomorrow, Arsenal play Burnley. So Arsenal will easily beat Burnley because Burnley are not that good defensively. So it is pivotal for City to win against Chelsea tomorrow because if City drop points against us tomorrow, it's going to be difficult because Pep will sack his player because he knows if Liverpool lose at Brentford, he knows I'm not going to worry too much on Arsenal. So I know if I just win like 3, 4 matches, 5 matches, I will be fine. So he will sack his player before the players, and that's what's going to even make me happy because I'm saying I want a spanking tomorrow from minute 1 to minute 90, whatever they want to give us. I want a spanking.
You can't win that for your club now. You can't win. I know you're upset with Poch and everything, but you can't win that for your club now. You You have to you can be upset, but you also have to kind of want your club to do well.
No,
Yes, I
Gundo,
want my club
I
to
think
do well.
I
You see,
understand.
I want my club to do well, but with the way Poch is moving for me, here's the other thing. I just want you guys to spank us so you can just kind of bounce. That's what I want. I want us to do well. Of course, I don't want us to fail, but with his stubbornness, with his arrogance, he hasn't even won anything, and he have this stupid arrogance. It's even annoying me right now. So I want him to lose badly tomorrow, so he can come back to reality.
No, but Gundo, I think I understand him. It's not that he wants his team. Think about. Let me give you a scenario, right? For one morning, I don't know if you do any running, right? You wake up in the morning, right? The sky is a bit gloomy. You decide to go for a run, and halfway through your run, you see the clouds are opening up. You don't have an umbrella, right? And you can see that this rain it's gonna hail. It's not just rain; it's gonna hail, right? You may not want to get wet, but the chances are very high that you will get wet. Now, the moment you've come to accept to terms with what's about to happen, I think the easier it gets. So it's more like a therapy session for Chelsea guys, us letting them know that you're gonna get wet. I think it's easier on your mental health if you just accept that you're gonna get wet. The only question is how much rain is gonna hit you.
It's 90 minutes, right? And in 90 minutes, anything can happen.
Funny.
It's 90 minutes, right? And in 90 minutes, anything can happen. But I mean, I want us to win, no doubt, because of my own interest in winning the title.
Yeah, but Carl, can you also answer this question for me, the one from the viewer?
If we lose, that's a good question. If we lose,
where would you lose? Counter, left side, which side?
It's probably the left side, Walker's side. And here's why I say that, right? If Foden is going to play central with this new Pep system, that means that Walker has to play this high wing back thing, which means that the protection will be behind with maybe Diaz or Ake and maybe Stones, right? Yeah. So think about the speed of Raheem or the long balls from Gallagher or the long balls from Enzo, right? Across in that channel where, maybe Mudryk can run into or Cook can run into. That's where the danger is. That's what's going to happen, guys. That's what we have to snuff out, is those transitions from the middle of the field, right, with Enzo, with Palmer, or with where the hell's midfield, through in those gaps in behind the fullbacks, because Walker's going to play high and wide if Foden goes inside. Now, if Bernardo's injured and he cannot play, and Foden plays central, that changes everything. Which is Walker's going to sit in that right back spot and protect counter-attack from that side. And these are all the things that the lineup will tell us tomorrow when we see it.
I heard that Thiago Silva is injured.
Yes, he's injured.
Yeah, he's injured. Yeah, Thiago's injured. So
that's
is
great news. That's great news for us, because as much as he's maybe your oldest defender, I think he's still your best defender, man. And every time he plays against us, he plays well.
Before you came in, I said it. Levi Cole and Disasi have bozo moment. I swear to God, it's just gonna take KDB one pass, just one, not two, just one, for those two tin-tongue defender to collapse. Just one pass, one, not two, just one, because they don't have brain. Those of them does not have brain. So Silva has been the one who did all this is because he's an experienced central back.
I mean, listen, like, obviously it's not rare for me and Abdullahi to disagree on things, but like with Thiago Silva, right, obviously he is our best defender. I agree on that. Despite his age, he's still top. Obviously, we are seeing his age in moments, and especially with Poch's system, because this isn't too cool ball where we'll come to your stadium and play 5 at the back and make it harder for you guys, which is obviously where you guys are saying that, Chelsea can be a tough game. Yeah, with Tuchel ball, yeah, it'll be a tough game, but going to your stadium, we're going to try and play our 4-4-2 off the ball and try and press and apply pressure in situations. And obviously, we're going to leave a high line. And where with Silva, that's tricky, is obviously you guys got Haaland. Again, if Haaland and Silva get in a race, there's only one winner. And also with Ben Chilwell being our left back, who leaves a lot of space in transition, you guys can exploit that, especially if it's an Alvarez there or maybe Doki switches to that wing. You will exploit that. So that's why it's good to have someone like Levi Cole who has more recovery pace, more mobility than a Thiago Silva to cover those spaces, because no doubt those spaces will arise in the game. Again, we saw at Anfield, Conor Bradley, again, a flipping 17-year-old kid, was absolutely cooking our left-hand side. Same with Wolves, and we saw with Pedro Neto was absolutely cooking Ben Chilwell. So if you guys are going to score a lot of goals, which I believe you will, it probably will come down that side. However, I am more confident of us putting up more of a fight defensively if Cole will start in alongside Disasi, because there's a bit more mobility, a bit more recovery pace, and obviously a decent enough physicality to try and deal with aerial balls and whatnot. Obviously with Thiago Silva again, his quality, but his age does leave a lot to be desired physically.
Is Taylor the referee tomorrow? Because that man can kind of annoy me. Is he the referee tomorrow?
I have not checked because I'm expecting to lose regardless, bro.
Like,
Man City don't need referees to beat us, bro. Like, let's be real.
Bro, I don't trust his referees, man. I don't trust his referees, man. If it's 0-0 and it's late, I don't trust these guys, man. We know what's going on.
I don't. This referee, they have bozo moment in there. And with the way Palmer is talking, he wants to prove a point. If it is Antonio Taylor tomorrow, I can expect a penalty or a red card tomorrow. That one is possible.
Let me just be clear. Obviously, like if you look perform how you did against Everton, we will probably get something out of the game because you were very poor and lackluster and slow in possession against Everton.
That's
so if you
true,
play like
that's
that, then there's a chance we could get something for sure. But I don't know. Maybe it's me being defeatist or anything and all of that. But like, I'm expecting you guys to turn up because you guys know it's a big game. You guys very ready before bad twice in a row in the Premier League. So you will turn up.
You need to understand something very clearly. Liverpool play early tomorrow. That is pivotal for Manchester City. Arsenal play after Liverpool. If those two teams lose tomorrow, it's over for us. One. If one of them lose tomorrow and Arsenal go above Man City. And the Pep man I know is a psychopath. He does not want to drop any point until the season finish. I know Pep very well. He wants to. Tomorrow, if one of Liverpool or Arsenal drop points, I swear to God, we'll have a bloodshed tomorrow.
Yeah, but I don't think that matters though. Like Pep understands this time of season, bro. Like they're always trying to win games regardless, even if whether teams win or lose around them. So they're gonna be like locked in to perform regardless, bro. Which is why I see them putting up a big performance, and we're gonna need something at a similar level to match him. And I just don't know if we have that, especially given how Poch is gonna set us up at Etihad. Etihad again. I don't call it Etihad as a joke, bro. It's literally Etihad, bro. Like the way you man smoked Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Arsenal, Liverpool last calendar year at that stadium was crazy, bro. So it's going to take something massive from us.
The Madrid smoking, I think that's what I've never seen. Okay, I'll go to Kevin in a few minutes. Let me just answer another question. Who starts for Silva? Silva might be assessed. I think he's going to start. If not, maybe Nunes will step in, or Kovacic, the double agent, as we call him. Thiago can't make standing tackles anymore. He has to slide tackle to everything. Every team plays a high line, and Silva doesn't allow that at his age. It's time to move on. Daniel says, big up everybody. Big up to you, Daniel. Coel and Disasi will start. Okay. I had some chicken and rice today. I know you did, but no, you are a liar. Look at that. Your membership badge is gone. You lie. You fraud. Anyway, you guys will cook Ben Chilwell. Marco Gusto is solid on the right. Yeah, apparently Chilwell is fit. Everybody
he's been playing the last 3-4 games. No, he's not. He's not good. We
did this last time. I remember Riyad Mahrez and Silva targeted Chilwell. Remember? Forward and Abdullahi. I think Mahrez and Silva targeted Chilwell.
See, Patrick, that is why I was annoyed giving James a captain and assistant captain with Ben Chilwell, because both of them are Hospital FC. And that is, I'm like, those two players will not give you consistency. James in Chelsea, in 300 and something matches, he has only played 5 matches for 90 minutes. In 375 appearances for Chelsea, he only played 5. And you are giving him a captain in Chelsea Football Club. Poch need to explain that decision. He needs to come out to the whole entire fan base and explain to us. Because James is not available. Ben Chilwell is an injury prone. So please, how do you give those two players captain when they're going to give availability?
Can I say something to you? You man, also whoever voted or gave it, I think it was a vote I heard, voted for James as a captain.
It was a
you might as well just do a cut up board and just vote for it.
It wasn't even the players vote, it was Poch. Poch just came in and said, okay, my captain is going to be James. And I'm like, why James? For me, give Silva because he's always available. Then promote James as an assistant when Silva leaves end of the season. Very simple. Why putting the pressure on someone on an Hospital FC? Both club captain and assistant at Hospital FC. They will land in hospital. And for them to will take them around April to come back.
I mean, listen, with the captaincy, obviously, Mafia makes a good point that obviously Silva did actually reject. So he just felt like he didn't he didn't need to be the captain, which I think Poch should have just said, no, I'm making you the captain because you're the leader of the team, really. But obviously, outside of Silva, right, who's experienced that can actually be a captain in this team? There really isn't anybody. The next experienced person after Silva is Raheem Sterling. And as you guys know, obviously, top player, had a great career with City, maybe even a little bit over criticized by many people, but he's not a leader. He's not a captain material kind of person. So after that, there only is the guy, the likes of Reece James, Ben Chilwell, unfortunately, because obviously they're part of that, the English core, quote unquote. They were obviously here when we won the Champions League against you guys in the final. And they were obviously top players then, but obviously the injuries have destroyed both of them, especially Chilwell. Chilwell was not even half the player he was before the injury. So there weren't many options. Again, this is obviously why. Again, it's a wider issue.
what's
Which I'm
your
not going
score
to get
prediction? Because you still didn't give me a score prediction. You ran away from it forward.
Me? No, I told you 4-1 City. And that's if we even score a goal. It'll probably be a penalty from Palmer. But
Okay.
But no, I've been telling you, like, this is prime time for City, bro. This is when you guys turn up and you
We
perform
have
in
a
the big
penchant
games.
of conceding sloppy goals. I mean, it's I always say that people don't come to the field to sell bananas or sell yam. They're trying to score goals.
So these guys are selling. These guys are selling yam.
No. People talk about clean sheet. So clean sheets are overrated, right? You play the game to score goals. It happens. This is life. This is what happens. And quality of attacking players is getting better and better and better. People are scoring more goals. The stats prove it out. So, there may be a goal or maybe two, but we just have to make sure that we also score as well, more than they do.
So what's your prediction? Or you're waiting to see the lineup?
For me, I wait to the lineup. The lineup tells me everything.
Nah, you gotta give us something now. Come on.
If he plays the lineup that I think we all would say, yeah, that's good. I think it would probably be a 3-1.
3-1. Okay. What about yourself, Kevin? You've been quiet.
For me, it's going to be 2-1.
Okay.
2-1 because Pep always overthink, I'm tired of that guy. So it's going to be 2-1. Just like the Everton game, I said, I swear to God, if we drew this game, oh my days. So just that, what he's going to do, he's going to do something strange tomorrow. We're all going to say, why are you doing that? But it's going to be 2-1. People are saying 6-0, 4-0. I don't know why people are disrespecting Chelsea. There's something
because they've been useless.
There's something that we call pride, because it's a man's game. This football of a team.
But where was our pride at Anfield though, or at home to Wolves?
Yeah, but the next game, what happened when you guys?
Yeah, the next game after Anfield, we lost 4-2. Where was the pride there? At home
against Wolves, right? Then when everyone was saying that Aston Villa was going to beat you guys, what happened there?
I actually expected us to do well because Aston Villa are also in really poor form, by the way. And then obviously, and so again, listen, we obviously got the result. I'm not going to take it away from the Poch and the boys.
Aston Villa is way better than Wolves.
True. Actually, not really form-wise. Villa are in really bad form again. They lost at home to United, and then again, if you're losing at home to United right now, you are not a good team.
Yeah, but
and then obviously we followed that up with them beating Palace.
Against United, they battered United. Against you guys battered them. That's the difference.
That is true, and I hear that. And I mean, listen, even after that, we did follow up with a win, which was good. Although, again, it's a Palace side without Eze and Elise, so they're not the same quality.
Right? You just watch against Chelsea tomorrow. Everyone will be surprised at why is Chelsea so good at defending. It's going to be 2-0, 2-1, or 1-0. It's always like that.
I think you'll be competitive early. I think we'll have moments and we'll be in the game. I don't think it's going to be less like you dominate us for 90 minutes. But I just think once you go ahead in the game and you have that stranglehold, you're going to put your foot on our necks and it's going to be lights out from there. And people forget, listen, obviously, they want to say, Chelsea, you have had a good record against City. Not of late. Since we obviously won the final against you guys in the Champions League, you won every single league game against us. I think 5 or 6, including some cup games as well, up until the game earlier in the season. You have a really good run against us since that final.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I wanted to say that if let me just say Bernardo Silva has been assessed L4. Bernardo Silva, they're gonna assess him.
Pep is not going to risk him tomorrow.
Yeah, but he might, I think they're hiding him, but because those rumors, somebody wrote that he's actually been training. I think they're just hiding him. But what I'm gonna say to Chelsea fans is this: I will just say this: if your team, I know that your team, as Carl says, me and Carl get shocked sometimes with you guys because Carl and me talk outside the podcast or YouTube. We are shocked that sometimes you guys, your players turn up. Then with the turn up against City, the next week they play another team and just give it up. I don't know if there's a pride against City. That's why Forward says you end up 1-0, 2-0, but you guys still turn up. Somehow you still show up, and some players I don't know if they're trying to say, "Oh, it's Man City, let me do something." That's why I also hate
Okay.
Spurs. Spurs, people like Romero turn themselves into prime Maldini because they're playing us or something. So look, what I'm trying to say is, but if tomorrow, I'm just saying this to Chelsea fans, if you come to the Etihad and say this is just another game, oh my God, we're just coming here to settle. Yes, it might be like that time when you came and we gave you 6-0. Remember that time? I think it can
Yes,
come to that.
under
But
five.
look, at the end of the
Sorry.
day, since we are cutting this, I'm going to, because it's getting late. I just wanted to speak to Abdullah. Abdullah, what's your score prediction? Remove your agenda and have a bit of pride and be shameless.
Let me just be sincere and joke apart. It's gonna be funny. I'll land that trick. I'm not joking
This man is
because you see those tin tongue called central back, Disasi and Levi Cowell. They have a bozo moment. I don't trust them at all. That's why I'm clamoring for Thiago Silva, because I know what Silva offers us. In as much as he's old, that guy has an experience where he can coordinate that. You see those two of them? Those two, they have a bozo moment. And when you have bozo moment with Haaland and KDB, it's gonna just take one pass. It's game over. One pass is game over.
Abdullah says if we let City score first, it'll be a good game. No, if you let Chelsea score first, it'll be a good game.
See, if you score first, City will collect and beat us again. You know why? Because we only come back once before in the Premier League, which is against Crystal Palace this season, and that has been that. So if City, I keep telling people, Liverpool match tomorrow and Arsenal match tomorrow is pivotal for City, and it's pivotal for Pep. Pep knows if Liverpool lose if they lose against Brentford without Alisson Becker tomorrow, is out. Is out. If they lose tomorrow and somehow Burnley beat Arsenal tomorrow, I can guarantee you, or one of them lose, or one of them do.
What happened to him?
Alisson is out tomorrow. He's out. He has an hamstring injury.
How long is he out for?
According to the report, I think a month or two, something like that.
They're saying it's serious. I don't want to assess him, but Alisson is out. It's going to be the kid
out,
from now on.
It might be, I think, a month or two, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So if one of them lose tomorrow for me, we are coming to Etihad. I know who Pep is. Pep is going to tell his player, guys.
And you know what, Abdullah, you've just reminded me. And Carl, guess who's back for Brentford?
Tony.
No, not Tony. Mboma.
Oh.
Mboma, what? Yeah. So the partnership is back. Yeah. We'll be cooking.
You see, Wisa also is back tomorrow. He's also back from Africa Cup of Nations too. So,
all these teams that you're talking, they all show up for City, but when they play all these other things, they just
no, Carl, Brentford away.
No,
They
Brentford
also hate Liverpool. They show up for
Liverpool.
Liverpool. They do.
Liverpool have never won there in the Premier League. They've never beat Brentford away.
Okay.
Yeah, but even when Brentford and Liverpool play, if you guys watch them, it's like fights. They really play Liverpool. They give them
Carl, they
them
hate
problem.
Liverpool somehow away. Tony and these guys, they hate Liverpool.
Give them problem.
And 12:30 kickoff as well.
Tomorrow's match is pivotal for Pep Guardiola because he knows he's gonna watch it and he's gonna tell his player, guys, one of our rivals have already drawn points. We have to go tomorrow's match and dismantle Chelsea. I don't care. Just dismantle them and be top. Because Pep knows dismantle Chelsea, the title is ours. That's it.
No. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, what I'm expecting is even if Chelsea score 2-0, I'm expecting him to go in that dressing room and tell these guys, because it's at home. I think Forward was right that it's the fact it's at home. So I think there will be the City team will be like, these are the guys who we beat them 4-3 and last minute they equalize. So it's as if it's beef. It's the same thing as Forward and Abdullah can remember Spurs, what the Spurs did to us, what you guys did to us. Remember? Spurs came to the Etihad, we were winning 3-2 and last minute Spurs scored. When City went to Spurs away, I was shocked. It was professional. They went there, it was serious business. It was no messing about. So the other thing about it is I think the time when you guys played City, Pep was still playing around. I think he was messing about. He had Alvarez in midfield. He had
I don't like listening to Pochettino's pre-match or post-match or press conference because he annoys. Whenever I listen to it, I just want to sleep because he annoys me.
This guy hates Pochettino.
He said he
He's
wants to
got
go
so
all out.
much hate in his heart for Poch, man.
It's not hate. It's not hate. I just want him out of my club.
This
Very
guy
simple.
hates Pochettino. I've never seen somebody hate a manager this much.
See, I just
Well, I
want him
mean,
out of my
he hated Lampard a lot, to be fair.
He also
He-
hated
remember
Potter.
those
He also
days.
hated Potter. He also hated Potter.
Just
Listen,
cook
I
for
feel like he
Lampard.
just hates all our managers, man. It just is what it
It's
is.
not forward is not hate just because Pochettino doesn't resonate for me as a fan base. So I'm like, I can back this man. Like, yeah, see,
Nah, he says a
Potter,
lot. He says a lot of stupid things. I agree. A
as
lot of
bad
stupid things.
as bad as Potter isn't even play good football than Pochettino, despite us finishing 12 last season. Because you have this kind of caliber of player, you can't use them. The way he's misprofiling this player is annoying to me. Poch is experienced, and he's misprofiling. All they have to do is injuries. Stop giving injuries as an excuse, please. It annoys me, and the amount of backing this ownership and what is even pissing me off. I'm like, Caicedo, Enzo, and these players are not terrible players. For goodness sake, they are not horrendous players. These players are good. They can play ball. They can play football. They are not bad. So you are making this player look bad.
Listen, I've got to go now, but I just want to quickly just say, obviously, again, thank you for having me on the show. This stream has been great. So, like, obviously, anytime you want to do another game or anything, even just if it's just related football related, right? Because again, I'm a football fan, not just a Chelsea fan. I'm a football fan, and
we do a lot of
football.
We have a lot of content. We're also going to do one on Sunday if you're available. We're doing if City are going to win the treble, so you can come in and.
Okay, no, it'll be good to be there. But again, obviously, I got a lot of love and support for you, bro. So big you up all the time, anyways. Again, one last thing I'll say maybe before the Sunday preview or the Sunday show about if City will win the treble. I just want to say to you, everybody watching and listening right now, City, you have to win the league. You have to win the league, and you know what City you have to do? City, you have to finish the story. You have to finish your story, and you have to stop Arsenal and Liverpool from winning the league.
We're gonna try, buddy. We're gonna try.
Finish your story. But now, big up everybody, man. Big up.
Yeah, there's a question here, Carl. But before we close up, it says, "Who do you think drops out the title race first? Liverpool with their injuries or Arsenal with their border job?"
I think Arsenal, and the reason is because I'll tell you why. Because the reason I believe is Arsenal is because Liverpool, for me, they might have a bad game. They'll find a way to win. It's Liverpool. They've been in this situation before. Arsenal have not been in this situation. And the way the media is putting this Arsenal into position make me laugh. Because one, Arteta for me is not even a good manager that can galvanize them to win the league. That's number one. And number two, their players plays with emotions, which for me might cost them the league. For me. So I don't see them winning. They still have to play at Man City at the Etihad. They have to travel to Old Trafford to play Old Trafford. Newcastle are coming to the Emirates Stadium. Those matches, I see them dropping points in those matches for me. I don't see them winning. So for me, they will be the one to drop ahead of Liverpool for me.
I mean, right now, the Liverpool have the points, right? So, and they've been there before. And if you ask me which of the two I'm concerned about, it's always going to be Liverpool.
Liverpool. You've always said Liverpool is the one you take serious, and you said if Liverpool in the Champions League last season, you could have and reached later stages. You said you would have been more afraid.
Yeah, definitely. If Liverpool had used their last season, it'd be more challenge for us, right? Because I think they get through many of those. Even though we had the toughest side. I mean, we had to play Bayern Munich and Real Madrid game after within 4 games. That's
Didn't we even play PSG?
No, that was the year before.
Quick question to Carl and then Patrick and guys. What do you guys think? Because I think Liverpool are advocating to get Xabi Alonso as their manager. Do you guys think it's gonna do well for Liverpool, or do you guys want?
Who knows? It's always tough to say these things. I mean, who knows, right? We'll see what happens. He's a good manager, though. I like the way he sets up his team, where they play. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Yeah. What about yourself, Kevin? Before we close up, what do you think? Who's gonna drop out first out of this title race? Liverpool with their injuries or Arsenal being border jobs?
Man, the way Arsenal fans talk too much, man. Me, I don't know. I don't know if people I don't know. I'm surprised the way people respect Arsenal. It's like, when you come second now, it's like you have done a very good thing. Like where they put Arsenal. Even when people predict for City to drop points more than Arsenal. Like for me, like some channel that I'm watching, like Arsenal have a better chance of going on a run. Who the fuck is Arsenal? I don't. To be fair, I'm not disrespectful, but I don't see them as a threat. Last season when Liverpool was 7th, 10th, I was still scared of them. So definitely for me, it's Arsenal, man. Come on, and they play with emotion. For me, they after one lose, they'll start crying. So but I always put pressure on them. You guys need to win the league. You Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea, Spurs. These guys, all of you need. We won the treble last season, but you still want to go like, oh, City must still win the league. I know where we have to win the league, but you guys need to win the league. You know, so people like someone like Arsenal, they're just gonna like they'll the way they are predicting their game now, which I like it. You know, you see me now. I want to predict Chelsea game, like Carl want to predict Chelsea game. It make it fair. Even though on paper we are good, we are far good. Like we can beat them. For example, I can go and say we'll beat them 6-0. No one will say anything that you are talking too much. But if they predict narrow 2-0, I say 2-1. You know, we went back. We know how stressful they are. But if it's Arsenal, because Chelsea is 10th, it goes like we'll beat them 6, we'll beat them 5. So I like the confidence that they have. So don't be surprised tomorrow if they lose against Berlin. Don't be
What?
surprised. I know that Berlin are shit, but someone will
Kelvin,
surprise
Arsenal
them.
look for Burnley tomorrow. They should dash. I'm saying that live now. They should call they should call who is the Premier League chief for executive CEO. Call him. Call Pep Guardiola and just hand over the trophy to Pep Guardiola. That's it.
That'll be funny. That'll be fun. On that note, guys, appreciate. Thank you very much, guys. All the guys in the chat, Mafia, you were here. Everybody in the chat, Daniel, everyone in the chat. Let me actually mention all of you so that you don't feel left out. First of all, big out to Carlton for becoming a member. I hope Carlton is not Cow. I'm
That's
pretty
me,
sure
yeah.
maybe.
That's me.
Oh, that's you. Big up to you. That's like Carlton is not Cow. Oh, Carlton, you've got an account. So Carlton J. So guys, we've exposed his name now. Kevin, if you want to scam this man, his name is Carlton J. So we found him now. But big up for the membership, guys. If you want to become a member, guys, I believe it's €1.99 a month. It goes towards my haircut. You see, I haven't done my haircut for a long time. I beg. Anyway, so let's go here. But I appreciate it, Carlton J or Pitch Points. It's just weird calling you Carlton J. Anyway, Shaki Moore, big up to you. Miss Melina, big up to you. MCFR, big up to you. Anthony, big up to you. MCFC TV, everybody in the chat, Mancunian Way. Forward was here with us. Semisosa, as always, she's also a member. Big up to you for being a member, Semisosa. AB, big up to you. Veda Games, big up to you. Harry Mills, Anthony, again, I'm mentioning Anthony, Annie, FCB, happy birthday to you. Girl RK, also big up to you for being a member. Girl RK, oh, there's a lot of members this time. Oh, big up to you. And Harry Mills, as always, big up to you, man, and respect. FF, I told you I'll not be saying your second word, but big up to you, man, and respect to you as always. Mafia, CAA Mafia, big up to you. LH, big up to you. Don't Smoke, big up to you. I know you had to leave, but big up to you. Ghana, FR, big up to you. I don't think I missed anybody. I think that's everybody. Veda Games, big up to you. And David also, big up to you. Guys, good night.
Don't forget tomorrow, Patrick. The show tomorrow. If those are
guys,
watching.
tomorrow at 9 or 10 o'clock. I don't know what time. I'm gonna set up with Carl again. We're going to do a show. It's called "How Man City Developed the Youth into Elite Players." We've done a case study. It's well prepared. If you want to come and learn how coaching is done at City, how things are done, we will do the show tomorrow. Join us. But guys, go subscribe to Abdullah's channel. Abdullah, would you like to tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, the Blue Studio One. It's the same thing with my YouTube. But like, I want to make a news because I already said it on my show. Soon we're gonna be moving to a new YouTube channel because I have a problem with YouTube in terms of some of the shows. So I'm changing the name a little bit, but it's gonna be the same name. I'm just gonna add a little bit of stuff to it. It's gonna be the same thing. The name is not gonna change. It's gonna be just maybe add a little bit of stuff to it. So possibly next month it will be ready. So I'm gonna make an official announcement on the TL maybe end of this month or early next month, but it will be ready. Hopefully, we are moving to a new channel, new design, new everything. Everything's gonna be ready.
Okay, thank you very, very much. And also go subscribe to Pitch Points. You can also find me on Pitch Points, myself and Carl. The channels are always streaming together. So go subscribe there. Guys, thank you very much. Have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you tomorrow when we are doing the match reaction and also when we are doing the how City develop the youth. Guys, come for this how City develop the youth into elite players because we've really worked on it. And Carl has done studying and is going to show you how to do it. Because most times on this channel, we don't only talk about previews and reactions. We also try to talk and educate sometimes or sometimes learn from people. So guys, come through and we're going to learn together. Thank you very much, guys. Have a great night. Like the vid, subscribe if you're new. As I said, it's the road to 3K right now. We're on 2,270. Thank you very much, everybody, for the support.